Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about Birds of Prey, or the fabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn.
One Harley Quinn.
One Harley Quinn.
You know what a harlequin is? A harlequin's role is to serve. It's nothing without a master. No one gives two shits who we are beyond that. The Joker and I broke up. I wanted a fresh start. But it turns out I wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
Spectacular news! Miss Quinn, she belongs to me.
Who are you guys?
Here's the deal, Quinn. You need me!
He's after all of us now. None of us are walking out of here unless we work together.
You gotta be kidding me.
Isn't this fun? It's just like a sleepover. We should order pizza. Make Cosmos. Harley, focus. Okay. I'm the one they should be scared of. Not you. Not Mr. J. Because I'm Harley freaking Quinn.
Who's having a good time?
Get ready, ladies.
So this is how many films in the DCEU now? So we got Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam. This is the 8th film. We got the 9th one coming out, in June, July? Wonder Woman 84?
Did you count the Green Lantern?
No, that's not part of the DCEU.
No, it's not.
No, and neither is Joker. So no, we don't count those. But yeah, Wonder Woman 84 looks really good. But that'll be another episode. Tonight, we're going to talk about our thoughts on Birds of Prey, or the fabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn. Which I'm just going to go out, just bust right out of the gate and go get on topic with this. How did this thing get a certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes? What? So, should we break? No, we won't break into spoilers. I'll just do a quick setup real quick. So if you've seen the Suicide Squad movie, essentially it's Margot Robbie reprising her role as Harley Quinn, only this time she's finally done with the Joker and out on her own.
She broke up with Mr. J.
With Mr. J. Puddin'. Would you want to rev up your Harley? Yeah, so she's out on her own, but because she's no longer with the Joker, essentially everybody that she's ever wronged, she no longer has immunity, sort of criminal immunity in Gotham's underworld. It's kind of everyone's after her, including the police, with Officer Montoya, played by Rosie Perez, and it was actually quite good, I thought, who has the best shirt ever, which we'll get into that in a sec, but yeah, and essentially she gets tangled up with Black Mask, played by Ewan McGregor, who just hams it up.
Yeah, it was definitely not a role for him. I don't know what he was thinking. Goes from Doctor Sleep to this.
Right? Like,
Just
weird.
Yeah, I don't know. The writing, terrible writing.
Bad dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Dumb one-liners.
Yeah. Production was okay.
Who did the cinematography on this one?
Matthew Libatique. He's Darren Aronofsky's. Like, he actually won. He actually won for Black Swan.
Wow, and he directed. Okay.
But he shot like The Fountain and Requiem for a Dream.
Pi.
Yeah, Pi. He shot Pi.
Love Pi.
Star is Born.
He did Star is Born?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So.
Yeah, so I mean, let's go into some spoiler territory. We'll just quickly break out the wizard because we know how much fun it is to see the spoiler wizards. So, Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I'm not really a fan. I was a fan. I am a fan of DC Comics, and I'm a fan of the DC TV shows, and I'm a fan of the DCEU. But I wasn't a huge fan of Suicide Squad or Aquaman, and I think this was actually the worst of the DCEU movies that I've seen. Like he said, there was just really bad dialogue. They really tried to break into the Deadpool territory, right? With like breaking of the fourth wall and anachronistic storytelling, and Deadpool's got his chimichangas, so Harley has to have her egg sandwiches. And lots of action cliches. Walking in front of exploding things, or like how many times in the movie did we have to see somebody get hit in slow motion from the side and do a flip, right? And land on their face?
Oh.
I swear it was like 83 times. It's the only move I could remember. I mean, I felt like out of the entire cast, which was a pretty good cast, I'm not familiar with who played Canary, Black Canary. Do you know who she was?
No, I don't know much about her.
Or the guy who played Victor
Zsasz.
Victor Zsasz. And he did a really terrible Victor Zsasz, in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all.
That's the thing.
I don't know. Margot Robbie was good, though.
Yeah, she's got Harlequin down.
Yeah, she does, for sure.
But I mean, for me, Ewan McGregor was... he was to this movie what Jared Leto was to Suicide Squad. Just not like, wow, do you guys... I don't know if you chose not to research the role, or if you decided to... You just didn't want to be the character that they hired you to play. I don't get it, because this version of Black Mask was not Black Mask. I mean, he's not Batman's biggest villain or the biggest villain in the DC universe, but there's some characteristics that these characters need to have in order to be these characters, and just wearing the mask for 10 minutes at the end of the movie, that doesn't make the character. It's like Stallone taking the Judge Dredd helmet off,
Right.
It's just not the character. And I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I just think she's really awesome, especially in 10 Cloverfield Lane. But I got to tell you, her huntress was wasted in this movie. I mean, we didn't really... I mean, we got a backstory, but there was no character development with her, right?
Yeah, she was just kind of thrown in there.
And then Canary finally using her, canary scream, like, at the obvious moment where you're like, okay, do the... Oh, well, now she's doing it. Why didn't you just do that before? And by the way, physics, they don't apply in this movie at all.
Yeah, but it's a comic book movie, though, dude.
It's true, but physics applied in most of the Batman movies. Well, at least the Chris Nolan Batman movies. Yeah, but the difference is that nobody in this movie is an actual superhero that has superpowers, I
don't know. What was with the whole story arc with the girl that swallows the diamond? I mean, is that...
I'm not familiar. Our buddy Frank, where my buddy Frank went with us, and he kept mentioning that he was a version... will be, if it got a sequel, but in the comic, is a version of Batgirl that's come since Barbara Gordon, was become Oracle. But I'm not familiar with that, because, I mean, I am a DC fan, but I don't read everything, Who's got time for all that? I mean, in order to get one of their big story arcs, you got to read, like, 52 titles and collect a whole bunch of trade paperbacks. So I'm not sure if that was an original character or...
Of all the story arcs, they should have picked a better one, because the story in this was just not interesting. It's just...
No, and the humor was misplaced. There were a couple of laughs, especially Rosie Perez's shirt. I shaved my balls for this? Like... I want that shirt. I don't know why she's wearing it. She's a police officer, but...
It's kind of got the Vote for Pedro colors.
It's a ringer, white and red. Yeah. That was good. As far as I'm concerned, she was the best character, the best developed character outside of Harley in the entire film. Because, I mean, it is Harley's movie, even though it's Birds of Prey. It really is Harley. It could have just been called Harlequin, Because it really is about her. Or Harley Quinn, but...
Well, did you hear about the whole thing? There's certain theaters that are calling it Harley Quinn Birds of Prey.
They changed it officially.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And Birds of Prey.
That's what it should be. That's
So,
what it should be.
I don't know if they're trying to like boost, the
Thanks
box
for the
office
comment.
sales or what, but this bombed. It didn't do
It really
well at all.
bombed. It is actually came in less than Jonah Hex, and none of you guys even remember that movie. I mean, I'm a fan of the Jonah Hex comics, and especially Hex, where it like gets thrown into the mid '80s. He gets thrown into like the 22nd century, and it's all Mad Max and leather, and yeah, it's real punk rock. I dig it, but the movie was not good. This is actually about the same. It's about as good as Jonah Hex for me. Like, I can watch it, I can throw it on, sure, it's part of the continuity. I will buy it because I am a completionist and I'm going to get all the movies in the DC universe that are connected, but this is not a chapter I think I would go back to very often.
Yeah. Just so much potential, and they just fell flat, real flat. So
It really did. I think it's the approach that they took. It felt like it was trying to be too many other different movies instead of its own thing,
right.
And they didn't have to go like the way of Joker or anything like that. They didn't have to make it dark and gritty because Harley Quinn's not that kind of a character. Or Harley Quinn, sorry. Harley's just not that kind of a character. But, I feel like they should have just had Poison Ivy in there and forget the Birds of Prey, because Poison Ivy's like her best friend. Like, I'll put it this way. If they had made it more like the animated series that's currently airing on DC Universe, the Harley Quinn animated series, but live action, dude, I would have that would have, because that cartoon is awesome. It is funny and stupid and violent, and it's offensive, and I love it. If only this movie could have followed in those footsteps. So, I mean, personally, I'd probably give it 2 stars out of 4. We were talking about this last night. I was on the verge between 1.5 to 2.
Yeah.
The only reason why I would give it 2 stars is at least the fight scenes were entertaining and nicely choreographed. And like you said, the production design was good. Cinematography was all right. So
Yeah, I would agree with that. 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4.
Yeah.
So it's not really a this or that. It's more like I wouldn't recommend seeing it in theater. You can totally skip it and catch it when you can stream it for free. Download it illegally. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that.
Loaded illegally.
Do you think there'll be a sequel?
Probably not. I don't know.
I mean, I could imagine Margot Robbie's character, her version of Harley Quinn, popping up in other DC movies, but I just don't imagine they'd make a sequel to this because of how well it or how badly it underperformed. And yet, for some reason, there's a lot of critics out there who are just loving this thing, and I don't know. I keep hearing like it's got a dash of Tarantino, and just because it's got some anachronistic storytelling, it's not the same thing as a Tarantino movie.
No, I don't know who's comparing it to that, but
Even on the TV spots, it's a review, and one of them
needs to slap whoever compared it to that, or whatever.
And also, if you have to use Tarantino to sell your movie, the TV spot that he's not involved with, it's probably not a good film. So I'm just gonna go with that. So overall, I'd say 2 stars. Skip it in theaters.
Yeah, I'd save your money. Go see 1917 instead.
While it's in theaters, I'd say go see Parasite, but it's no longer in theaters, or Knives Out, or a lot of other movies. Go see The Gentleman instead. That was a better movie.
But, yeah. Anyway, tell us what you think. Always like and subscribe.
Please. And if you disagree, if you really like the movie, feel free to tell us. Just be nice. Or don't. It's either way. I got thick skin. I don't know. You might upset Chris though.
Everybody has their opinions. We respect it. So
Absolutely. If you want to talk about whether you liked it or didn't, we'll be happy to correspond with you. But yeah, thanks for watching. And keep in mind, we're getting closer and closer to 200 subscribers, and that means we got the 200 subscriber giveaway. We're gonna
that's right.
pick a selection from what?
Arrow video catalog.
Which could be an Arrow film, but it could also be an Arrow Academy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? So, anyways, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
See you on the flippity flop.
See you on the flippity flop.